Welcome to a tutorial that goes through InDesign and talks about the grid system, as you've learnt from this page on the portal, and a discussion that we can't underestimate how important a grid is in the use of design and especially layout. When you're making multiple documents, it gives things a theme, a feel, make sure they go together, it's easy for the eye, and it's really just the spine and the backbone of your design. So even though it's invisible, it's quite important. You're going to watch a tutorial here and do a activity that sort of demonstrates those skills and that you understand it. So you need to bring up InDesign, get to it through all programs. Once it's up, you can see it looks very familiar to Photoshop and Illustrator. That's because it's very compatible and very similar in a lot of ways. So we're going to create a new document. We can set up our page. Now you might usually use an A4 page. We're going to have a unique size here, which is 250 by 210. We're going to have 4 columns, and each column is going to be divided by 10 mil. And around the outside, so you click this, the one here, we want a 10 mil margin around our page as well. Now we're going to have 5 pages, and it's okay that they can be facing pages, but if you wanted them all separate, which I'll explain, you just untick that. So that's ready to go, I think, and we press OK. So you can see page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5. It's starting to look a bit like as you lay out a magazine, and that's the idea of the facing pages. If you unclicked that when you started it, it would just have 1, 2, 3, and the other 2 would be below, and they'd just sort of be single pages, not together for a magazine. To start, I'll just tell you a little bit about a thing called a master, which is very important. Just say for some reason in your magazine you want the same element, same image, same little text box or something on every single page. Instead of copying and pasting it all the time, we've got a thing called a master, which is up here. So when we double click on our master, you can see 2 pages. And just say, for whatever reason, I wanted a little black box in the left hand corner on every single page that I've got. I create that box there, and when I go back into this, which is where my normal pages are, you can see that black box is in the corner of my left hand pages, and that would be for as many pages as I create. I can't actually move this or get rid of it because it's on my master, so it's something that happens to all of them. Whereas I delete that, you can see back to normal around here. Now if I created a similar black box in here and I wanted it on every page, I would then have to go copy paste, and move around all the time to get it on my pages. So master is if you want something to all your pages that you've got available. Why I'm telling you that is because we want to do that for our rulers. So back in here, if I created a ruler and I had it, for this page, and then I had another one down here, and then I want to put that same guideline on this one, I'd have to keep dragging and dragging. So what I'm going to do is delete this here. And I'm going to go into my master. Now you'll watch Control R if you don't have your rulers up. What I'm going to do is, as I drag down on my ruler to give us a guideline for our grid, you can either do left side, right side, or both. So what I'm going to do is create some 4 centimeter boxes by dragging it and having 1 centimeter gap. So you need to do this as well for me. So as you can see, what we've done there is we've created that grid system. So all these boxes, 4 centimeters, 1 centimeter gap, 4 centimeters, 1 centimeter gap, 4 centimeters, 1 centimeter gap, and 4 centimeters with a 1 centimeter gap. So these are 5 centimeters in between each one, and these are 4. So they're almost square, but slightly different shape. And now when we go back into our pages, it's set that grid work up on all of them, so we don't have to do it all the time. On the portal, I asked that I wanted you to set up 5 different pages, so 5 different unique grids. You can set up the same grid like what I've done, rather than doing a separate one for each page, but I want you to show me that in each one you can break up that grid differently. So what we need to include is at least 3 images, so purple blocks, a master heading, which is where the sort of typeface goes for your article or for your cover, green block of color, and 2 sections of text. I've also said think about the white space in your grids, follow the grid, and in 2 of them, so 3 of them, just do a pretty standard grid, and 2 of them try and break free. As you can see, this one breaks free of the grid a bit, and then you need to upload them to your blog. So if we need to put 3 images in, we can just start, I guess, up on this one on the top, and we're just going to use those simple blocks of color. We're not going to put the actual images in yet, but we're just starting to get a feel for it. So I might, for instance, one of mine may be that I would like it to look like this. So this is grabbing it on our grid system, changing this to our purple color, so we can bring that up, picking a purpley color, popping that in, and again, to save myself some time, because I know what the grid, this could be in my article, this could be where I would like, well, a little bit short. This is where I would like my 3 pictures in my grid. So you can see that there, that's where I would like my 3 pictures. My master heading, which we're just doing as a green box again. Is going to go there, and we can use our little swatches here, or you can use your color. Sometimes when it doesn't come up right like that, so it's in black and white, you just click on CMYK, and we can say that's my green header. Then I need to come up with 2 text boxes as well. So we're imagining this is an article. And so what I'm going to do is just bring that up there, change it to CMYK, pick a nice yellowy color, and then I'm going to copy and paste that. So this right here is one grid. Now you can see that's quite tasteful. It's balanced, it's symmetrical. Now what you need to do is you press W, and it actually gets rid of all the lines in the outline, so it shows you what it would look like on a page. And if you had an article which had, you know, your heading up in there of your article, you had 3 kind of narrow pictures, there might be panoramic landscape shots, and then 2 nice little paragraphs of text. That's what your, you know, newspaper or your newsletter or your article would look like. So that's one grid. As you can see, it's very balanced, has a nice little bit of white space down in the corner, but it's a very safe use of the grid as well. So now I might do something different. And to do that, what I'm going to do is bring in my picture. So I'm going to do just to here, bring up that purple color that we had before, so we can just click like that. So you just click on the color and then click what you want. That's just a little color dropper tool. As well as that, we want to create a couple more of those. So I'm going to create, this is where my pictures go. I'm going to create another one, and this is going to be for my heading, this one here. So I'm going to just color drop back up to my green heading and apply that. And then as well as that, I would like to pop my text in, which is going to be yellow. And I might have 2 of these in here. I'm just going to color drop them again. But you could just click on the color and create a color. So you can see that. So you can now see that I've got 2 grids. Starting one, yep, very safe, quite unique, works as a design. Again, still using the grid system. That's where you could imagine the sort of big header is. I could have a nice big picture, a couple of small pictures, and 2 nice wide paragraphs of text. So you guys need to come up with 5 different designs, and then you also need to break out from the grid as well in one of your designs. So if we're going to just do one more to show you what that might look like, sort of getting a little bit creative, I guess, and pushing the boundaries, is we'll do another one. We'll have our 3 pictures. Now watch what I do here. I'm going to bring one of my pictures so that it actually comes over the edge of one of my designs. So we're just going to color swatch that so that's in the purple. I'm then going to create another picture which is going to sit in over the top here, and I'm just going to create, I guess, my own purple color and change that color a little bit just so we can see how it sort of stands out. I guess maybe make it a little bit bluer, because otherwise we'll get a little bit lost. So a little bit bluer. I then perhaps might want to have another picture, another purple picture that's just sitting down in the corner, down in here, like so. And I might grab my green one. So this is where my writing, like my main text heading, might be, and that might, I guess, come over this information here. Like so. And then we can just put our 2 yellow boxes in of our text. So just color sampling again, creating our yellow boxes, one there, and I guess one like there. So what you can see there is that we've broken out of the grid a bit, and we compare a very safe one up the top, and then we go to this one, which is still smart and use a smart sense of balance and asymmetrical balance, and this one which is really breaking out of the grid. Picture there, this guy as well is a picture, and then we've got our text, and it gives us quite a unique layout, so you can see how they're quite different. So you need to create 5, and then to finish, what you would do is you would go File, Export, and find a place perhaps on your desktop and just say that you want an Adobe PDF, pop in whatever your title is, so grids, you need to save it, and then you can go through here, show that you want your whole range of pages. If you want them in spreads, which means it's got the 2 pages together sort of as it appears, you click that. I would probably say don't click that because you want each individual grid to stand alone. Don't worry about the marks and bleeds and the compression, but then you can sort of export it out and it will save it as a PDF, and then you can use that PDF and we can get it up on your blog. So that's the end of this tutorial, very basic sort of understanding of InDesign and showing you how grid systems works. And to make a real sort of magazine or set of posters, all you end up doing is using your design and a lot more skill and time and effort put in, but you would just actually use fonts and use writing and use pictures that you've touched up in Photoshop to help make a magazine or something else. So that's the end of this tutorial, and then you can move on to the next activity.